we have this conversation quite often when I come with the relationship thing. And you're always telling me, hey, Doug, in due time, in due time, in due time. Okay, so fine, in due time, right? Stop laughing at me. So, I am ready. I'm not even going to say that, so stop laughing. I am ready to release some of the resistance around the subject. I continue to speed bump, like run into that wall, like crash into the thing, like rub my head against it. I'm okay now. It's like, okay, let's deep breathe.
So we talked earlier about the momentum that you gather against yourself with words.
Yeah.
And that was
Okay.
a really good example of that.
So, but I actually feel really light right now for whatever reason.
So you're using words you don't mean.
Yeah.
So cut it out.
Okay, cool.
You're just repeating words that you've used often when you did feel that way. But right now you don't even feel that way, but you're still using the words just out of habit of using the words. Well, as you stop doing that, you said, I'm getting ready to release resistance. And we want you to understand that you're releasing resistance all the time. You don't get ready to release resistance because you don't release it all at once.
I got you.
You release it just a little bit at a time, bit at a time.
No, I got you.
So it's time for you to let your desire just put more engines on the train and never mind what your resistance is and watch what happens. You are at the place where you can begin to just define what you want. Someone asked earlier, what do I do? When do I start scripting? When do I start? It's time for you to do that. You've released enough resistance. Your desire is gaining momentum. Give your undivided attention to that. Talk only of what you want. Watch what happens.
Okay. And
It's all lined up.
I know, yeah. Because sometimes I felt like when I asked before, you knew, like, Dougie, you ain't ready for that, just leave it be, but you were just being nice about it. And now it's like, no, like I meant to be like the timing of my life with the baseball, blah, blah, blah. Like you were always kind of like, nah, you don't need that kind of situation just yet. Like it's not the right.
Nothing is ever about need. It isn't about need. It's about how many engines you got going both ways. And when you've got 25 or 50 or 1,000 engines lined up going in both directions, our conversation goes on for quite a long time.
So I didn't care enough about it to release the engines?
You cared enormously about it. You cared so much about it that you talked it to death. For every statement of desire, you made an equal statement of disbelief. That's what's going on. Because you, like so many people, have that subject all set up to believe that you've got to accomplish perfection the first crack out of the box, and you're not leaving any room for together expansion. Together understanding, together being able to figure it out or work it out.
Yeah, and I feel like I have like a best friend who like is a really good vibrational indicator of the togetherness and the softness and the relaxedness that I want in a mate, you know? Just that like well-being best friendness, the Jerry Nesterness, you know? And so like I have that in my life. I have it in my life in many ways.
Jerry's dead. Not very good friend, Esther wants to say. If he'd really loved me, he'd have stuck around and played with me.
Sorry, Esther.
We're just trying to lighten the mood here a little bit.
Okay.
And nothing like a good death joke to do it.
But it's not like a heavy, you know what I mean? It's like a recognizing and I'm still releasing some resistance on the subject, you know?
Here's the thing that we want all of you to resonate with powerfully right now. You have been putting things into your vortex for a long time. And you're not really ever going to be satisfied with something less than what that equals. And so, through listening to us for a while, you know that so completely. There's this understanding that you don't want to settle for less than what the vortex has to offer you. But what if the vortex is offering? What if it's only your reluctance to allow what it's offering that's missing? What if that's the only piece that's out of whack?
My self-fears?
Yeah. And if that's the case, then you can look and 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 look. You'll find a little piece, another little piece, another little piece, another little piece, another little piece. But the whole thing is not ever going to come together until you, and it's the same subject as we just had.
What's a nice little affirmation then I could say to kind of release, relax me on that? fair thing. There is a fair thing on it. It's like projecting into the future. Instead of
I'm
letting
molding myself into place.
Okay.
I'm coming more and more into alignment with my true desire. My desire relative to this subject is becoming more evident to me all the time. This is not a big mystery to me. I know what I want. I know what I like. I know I'll know it when I see it. It will be perfectly evident to me. I will know it when I see it. I'm not trying to make what I see be it. I'll know it when I see it. I'm not trying to make what I see be it. I'll know it when I see it. I'm not trying to make what I see be it. I'll know it when I see it. I'm not trying to make what I see be it. I'll know it when I see it. I'm not trying to make what I see be it. I know it when I see it. I'm not trying to make what I see be it. I'll know it when I'll see it. Yeah. Don't stop. I'll know it when I see it. I'll know it when I see it. I'm not going to try to make what I see be it. I'll know it when I see it. I'll know it when I'll see it. I'll know it when I see it. I'll know it when I'll see it. I'll know it when I'll see it. I know it when I see it. I'll know it when I see it.
I'm good with that. Well, one more thing though. I'm good with that subject. Okay, so there's one more quick thing. Yeah. Oh, easy. Okay, so the little conversation about a pen. So I feel like the universe is working ahead of us in this way. So I have this conversation with a friend. The conversation didn't come, the law of attraction didn't end the conversation. Okay, here, let me start over. About 5 days ago, I didn't have a pen in my vehicle, and I wanted to do some writing while I was eating breakfast. So I remind myself, hey, I need to put a pen in there next time I get a chance. So I borrow a pen, I do my writing, done with breakfast, get back in the car, blah, blah. A little bit later in the day, I have my backpack, I grab the pen, fussing around for pens. I don't know which pen it is. I just grab a pen and I put it in place. We're done. 3 days later, my friend's in the car with me, and we took a trip to Maui. And we were remembering a really cool breakfast spot that we used to go to, but we couldn't remember the name of the place. We were throwing out names. It's close, but that's not it. We're eating breakfast, because we eat breakfast, and then we get back in the car, and I pick up the pen that would have been laying there right after this conversation, and it goes, Fresh Market Bistro. And that's exactly the pen that I used in Maui where I had the breakfast. And we were like, man, that's cool. Like that was one of those situations where you love the universal laws, you love the law of attraction, and those small moments are what life's about. So the only reason why I was bringing it up, because when we were discussing it, I had so much chills and tingling to absolutely ask you the question. And it felt like the universe was working way ahead of us to make sure we finish that conversation in a way.
Yes, and that's child's play in relationship to all of the things that can be done. It's also what true convergence is. The most important thing about this is it's about your readiness to receive.
And it was quick.
Yeah, really good.
Thank you.
We have enjoyed this interaction. Good time for a segment of reflection. And are you refreshed? Yes. Good. Now what?
I knew you were going to call me. Well, I hoped you were. This is my first time up here, but I've been to a few workshops, and I've never had a question like I have right now. 10 years ago, out of nowhere, a story popped in my head, and I'm not really a writer. I write some for work, but it's not what I do. But the story is so vivid, and it tugged at me in such a way, I feel like I'm supposed to do something with it. But I've listened to you talk all day about the train analogy, and I guess I'm...
Well, after 10 years of the tugging...
It's time I give it up.
Not at all, but you might have piled more resistance on it than if you had followed the inspiration right away. It's all right. It doesn't make any difference. We're just explaining to you what that tugging feeling is about. But if you can recall, and maybe you can, you said it just came to you. And that's really what inspiration is. And it's what we've been trying to describe as what happens when you get into the receiving mode and some vibrations begin to turn to thoughts. And this idea flows into your mind. And when it comes as a fully downloaded story, it's a strong inspiration. And we would always follow through on something that feels strong like that.
But since I didn't when it came, Is it too late to?
Never, it's never too late.
I still remember the whole.
You may have more resistance to overcome than you really want to, but it doesn't make any difference. The more important thing that we would like you to emphasize for yourself about this is that you know for sure what the receiving mode feels like. That's your takeaway from this. Sort of came out of nowhere, it seemed like. It was a fully formed, it seemed, conversation about something that you had not been giving a lot of thought to.
None. Yeah.
Well, that's inspiration.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm going to write it.